The VLOOKUP is a much loved and very well used function in Excel. It would certainly be on my list of top 10 functions to know. And it's all about looking something up in a table and then returning something from that table. But as usual, we will do several examples to get you into the swing of how it works. Taking a look at this spreadsheet here, you might recognise this example as one that we used when we were learning about if-else and switch and whatnot with some of those logical operations. And you might remember that whatever it is has got a score, but we want to actually display a word to reflect that score in this rating column. So therefore, a score of 1 should equal the word shocking, and a score of 2 should equal the word bad in this column here. And you might also remember, looking at these columns just here, there are already several different ways we could achieve this task. So we could do exactly what I've just described using a nested if function. You can see the example there. Or we could use the if-else function, or we could use the switch function. So yes, I'm going to give you a fourth way of doing exactly the same thing. And because we've already got this little table here in the pink shading, which we used previously just for our reference, well, we can get Excel to use that table to display the appropriate word in column F just here. And that would be exactly the example of a lookup. This is the lookup table. The function that goes into column F here is going to look up in that table what it sees in cell E2 and display the appropriate value from the table. So I strongly suggest, if you're going to be using lookups, that you name the range of cells that contains the table you want it to use to do the looking up. So let's just quickly do that. I'm just going to select those pink shaded cells and click over here in the name box and call it, what should we call it? Ratings, something like that. So then if we put in the function, we can refer to that as the table it's going to use to look up the rating for us. Now, we need to use a VLOOKUP. Now, the V bit simply indicates that the lookup table, so these pink shaded cells here, are arranged vertically in columns, because the VLOOKUP does have a brother, which is the HLOOKUP, and we'll do an example of that later. But the VLOOKUP is a very common function that we would use for looking things up, and 9 times out of 10, certainly in my experience, the lookup tables tend to be arranged in columns like this. So yes, that's a VLOOKUP, V for vertical. But anyway, the first thing it needs to know is, well, what do you want me to look up? Well, it's that cell there, please. And then it says, well, where do you want me to look it up? So the next argument is the table array. That's the pink shaded cells just here. And we did give that a name, didn't we? We called it ratings. So if I start typing that, then that'll pop up as an option there. And then the next argument is, well, which column in this table do you want me to return a value from? So we want it to look up something in the first column and then return the associated value in the second column. So my next argument here is going to be 2. So let's just close the bracket, press enter, and if I repeat that all the way down, we should see we get exactly the same answers as we got with the 3 other ways that we had of doing exactly the same thing. Of course, the beauty this time is that if somebody says, oh no, I don't like the way you've called a rating of 1 shocking, I'd like it to be called terrible, please. Well, I would just change what's displayed in that lookup table, and of course the whole column F there where I've got the lookup will change. Whereas with these other examples, we had the actual words that we wanted returning hard coded, if you like, into the individual formulas that we typed in, so it would be a little bit fiddly to change what word we wanted to be displayed instead of the word shocking. But all in all, I think a VLOOKUP was the most efficient way of performing this task. Let's do another example, and I want you to switch to one of the other workbooks I've given you, which is this orders one here. And I'd like you to imagine that we sell widgets. So we've got various customers here and how many widgets they have ordered. But look, we offer them a discount, a percentage discount based on how many widgets that they order. And the actual percentage discount we give them is calculated according to this table here. So you can see according to the black headings that if they've ordered between 0 and 24 items, then I'm afraid they don't get any discount. But if they've ordered between 25 and 49 items, they get 5%, etc. So there are various bands, if you like, of the number ordered that relates to the percentage discount. So as you might guess, we are going to use a lookup function to look up the discount percentage according to the value in cell C2 here, which is of course the number of widgets that the customer has ordered. But here's the thing, if you look more carefully at this table, the black cells are just there for my reference, to make it easy to read for me as a user. It's actually the yellow shaded cells and the yellow shaded cells only that Excel needs as the lookup table. And you will notice in this first column here, we only need the lower values of the bands, if you like. So in your mind, you might think of the first band as being 0 to 24 and the second one as being 25 to 49. Excel just needs 0 to represent 0 to 24 and then just 25 to represent 25 up to the next band. Do you see what I mean? So that's what Excel needs as the lookup table. And as before, I think we should name that to make it easy to use in the lookup function. So I've selected the yellow cells. Let's go up here and call it discounts, something nice and easy to remember like that. Now let's put in the lookup function. So again, it's going to be a VLOOKUP because the lookup table is arranged in columns. What do we want it to look up? Well, we want it to look up how many items the customer has ordered. Where do we want it to do the lookup? So it's in the discounts table. There it is. And then, let me just double click to choose that. And then display the answer from the second column of that table, please. So close the bracket. And if I just repeat that all the way down, and we'll do a spot check. So this customer here, so Wizard, has only ordered 10 items, so they don't get any discount. Whereas Admiral Components has ordered 120 items, they get 15%. So 120 items is in that band there, so yes, they get 15%. Good. Let's do another example, and let's imagine that for each customer we've got a pre-agreed delivery charge that we want to put in column G here. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see another table indicating the pre-agreed delivery charge for each customer. So for example, Admiral Components, we always charge them $12, euros, whatever it is for every delivery. Whereas Snow Avionics, well, they come and pick up their order, so we don't charge them any delivery. But that's been pre-agreed in advance. It's in this little table here. We're going to use a lookup to look up the pre-agreed delivery charge according to the name of the customer. So again, it's going to be a lookup table, but the first thing you notice this time is that the lookup table is arranged in rows. So this is going to be an H lookup because the information is arranged horizontally, H for horizontal, and as before, I am going to name those shaded blue cells to make it easier for us to use in the lookup function. So let's just name that delivery, something like that. And then up here, let's put in the lookup. This time it's going to be the H lookup. So H lookup, just the same sort of idea. What do you want me to look up? Well, I want you to look up the name of the customer, please. Where do you want me to look it up, dear user? Well, it's going to be in the delivery table that I've just named. And then please display the answers from, well, which row? So before we were counting columns, but now we're counting rows of the table. It's the second row in that table. So put in the 2. And then let's just check that. So, well, straight away we can see that Snow Avionics was the one I pulled out a second ago to indicate that they come and collect their order, so there's no delivery charge, but I'm hoping, there we go. So for example, Newbank & Co, well, we charge them $45, euros, whatever, and yeah, that is correct. So that has done the job, but there are some limitations with the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP, and I'm going to use these two examples we've just done to show you what those limitations are. So firstly, let's examine more closely how it did the first lookup with the discount percentage. So the idea was, as you know, it looks up how many they ordered in this table and then displays the appropriate percentage. But you'll notice that if, for example, if it was looking up 180, it wasn't doing an exact match, was it? Because, well, 180 doesn't appear in that first column that it was using to look up the percentage discount to return. So what it actually does, it works its way through an ordered list. So if it's numerical like this must be sorted from lowest to highest. So if it's looking up 180 in this table, in the first column of the table, it goes to itself, well, I'm bigger than that, I'm bigger than that, I'm bigger than that, I'm bigger than that. Oh, I'm not bigger than that. I'm going to bounce back to the previous row. And that's how it returned the 15%. Whereas with the, let's do the 75. So if it's looking up 75, it goes, oh, bigger than that, bigger than that, bigger than that. Oh, not bigger than that. I'll bounce back to that one, which gives us, gives us the 10%. So therefore, it is very useful when you've got these bands of values, and we've just got the lower number in the band, and that did work perfectly well. So I'll say it again, it relies on that first column being sorted, if it's values from lowest to highest. And happily, that other example we did, that table was also already sorted by the first column numerically from lowest to highest. But if I return back to that other example, let's think about the text base lookup that we used for the delivery charges. So as you know, it was looking up the name of the customer according to the blue shaded cells here in this table, and it was not doing an exact match that you might think. It works its way through a sorted list, and the end result happened to look like an exact match, but it wasn't. And just to prove the point, I'm going to rename Admiral Components here, which is the first one on our little list in the lookup table. I'm going to rename that Quest Buildings, something like that. And you might think that, well, row 3 there, Quest Buildings, why isn't it displaying an error message for the delivery charge? Because of course Quest Buildings isn't in our table. I would expect that to display an error, but it seems to have come up with a delivery charge of 10. Where's it got that from? Well, it's because it's working its way through a sorted list, just like we saw with the numerical example. So if it's looking at Quest Buildings, well, it thinks to itself, well, that begins with Q, and we're working our way through an alphabetically sorted list. So Q is further down the list than A, it's further down the list than N, it's further down the list than P. Oh, but it's not further down the list than R, so it bounces back and displays the 10 from the Pine and Black customer here. So that is a limitation of using a lookup function to look up text. It is not doing an exact match. So let's just finish up this video with just one more example. So take yourself back to that other spreadsheet, and this time go to the exam scores sheet, and let's just do one more example of looking at the score in the exam that the student has got and then displaying the appropriate grade. And much like the very first example we saw in this video, we've done this before using other types of functions. So we could use a nested if function here to look at the score and then use these blue shaded cells here to determine what grade we give them. And we also did an example in the previous skill using if s. And if I click the drop down, you can see the full if-s function there. But you guessed it, we are going to use a lookup to use the lookup table, these shaded cells here, to help us do the same sort of thing in hopefully a slightly more efficient way. But I'm hoping that you're already looking at this table and thinking to yourself, well, hang on a minute, that isn't yet in the right format that we need for the lookup. So we know that the first column, if it's numerical, it only needs the lower values. So let's just change that to 75, 65, 55, 45, and then 0. But also the table needs to be sorted going from lowest to highest, because it's going to work its way from top to bottom. So let's just resort this table therefore. So on the data ribbon tab, I'm going to choose an A to Z sort. That's better. And just for fun, shall we make this a horizontal table to give us another reason to try the H lookup? So let's just select those cells and Control C to copy, and let's just go up here and choose to, from the paste special options, choose to transpose it. So let's get rid of that lot there. So I'm going to clear all, and we will use this as our little lookup table. So arranged horizontally this time. We want it therefore to look up the exam score. So if it's going to look up 35, it's going to work its way along. It's going to go, well, I'm bigger than that. Oh, I'm not bigger than that. It'll bounce back and should give us a fail there for the first one. But let's try it. So equals H lookup. What am I looking up? The exam score of the student, please. Where am I looking it up? Now, I haven't this time named this range here like we did with the other examples, which is what I do strongly suggest you do. But let's imagine we haven't named it. So we just select the cells there to point it at those cells that are acting as the table. And this will still work. But because we are repeating this formula all the way down, we have to put in those little dollar signs in order to reference that table absolutely when we reuse the reference further down the column. And it's for that reason, having to remember to put in the dollar signs there, so I just use the F4 function key to do that quickly. It's remembering to do that people often forget. So that's why I tend to suggest you name the cells to refer to in the formula. But anyway, you can point at the cells, but you must put the dollars in. And again, we want it to pull out the result from the second row of the table. So if I pop that in, we should yet again see exactly the same responses, exactly the same result that we had when we did it a different way. But of course, the beauty is if we then lower the pass mark, if we say, well, actually, we were a little bit harsh here, let's change the pass mark to 35. So if I change that to 35, then you'll see that that automatically will change the grades people get by simply changing the lookup table there. Very efficient. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from CBT Nuggets. Oh, and also, if you're new to IT or are interested in an IT career, visit cbtnuggets.com and sign up for a free, yes, free, a free trial.